Hello, welcome back to my face and some more tanks. I'm going to tell you how to play the VK72.01K today. Clan Wars reward tank, campaign reward tank, whatever you want to call it. It is very, very fun. And in my opinion, probably the best tier 10 German heavy. I don't know, it just has something about it. It just has that little bit of gold dust that, the Mouse and E100 sometimes miss. And I think that's down to this tank's gun. It is gorgeous. I mean, it's not got the best dispersion, 0.36, 2.6 seconds aim time, but if it hits, it does stuff like that. 788. Its tank has 750 alpha, and its heat pen is just absolutely dreamy. You've got 350 heat pen, In my opinion, this tank is very gold dependent to play it at a high level. Just because that heat pen, just 350 heat pen, just pens pretty much anything, to be honest, barring certain parts on very heavily armored tanks. It is just gorgeous. It is probably my second favorite shell, a 350 heat shell, behind, Jaeger 420. Funny, big heat pen, literally anything in the world. It just seems to just pen so much more than 330 heat, for example. So, yeah. Anyway, into this game. We're on Runeberg. Interesting map. Had a lot of changes recently. Quite a few changes recently, to be honest. A couple of iterations. And to be honest, this map is pretty dreamy for this tank. You really can't get many better maps. You're probably talking Himmels and Ensk and this. These are like your top three maps for this tank. Because it isn't quick. It's 33 forwards, 12 reverse. It's really not quick. But if you can get it into position and get tanks to peek it, its armor works. And frontally only. You'll see in this game this tank's weak points. It does have a weak lower plate to high pen heat shells. If we're talking tier 8s, tier 9s, firing standard shells, they will struggle to pen your lower plate. It'll take a high pen roll. But, we're talking same tier tanks, tier 10s firing sometimes high pen standard and heats. They will pen your lower plate pretty much every time. And also the sides of this tank are very weak. It has like, let me pause it and show you. If you see, like here, it has got a very, very big weak point here. And if anything hits basically here, it basically auto pens. Especially from the front. So if they hit like your little cheeks, it's an auto pen. But you can just do stuff like that. And we're 3 minutes in and we're already up to 2.8k. It's this gun, if it's allowed to work, it has pretty good DPM. You're talking just shy of 3k DPM. And I must say, I do have it fully tricked out. I'm using Bond equipment. The only thing I don't have on this tank yet is full field mods, which would slightly increase its hit points and a couple of the other soft stats. But my reload, even without all of that, is at 15 seconds. It just works, and you'll see in this game what this tank can do if you let it shoot you. It just rips you apart. You pick up an insane amount of crits as well. It's such a high alpha gun. If you hit the side of a tank, you're pretty much going to crit. Side and rear, and side turret and rear turret, you're going to crit. So it's a good tank if you want to do crit missions, 279. And at the minute, for me, I'm obviously, I play for DPGs at this point and marking tanks. And to mark this tank, it's incredibly hard. It's got nearly 6k rex, so we're talking just less than a chief. So it's very hard to mark. But there's no harm in going for a DPG in it. And currently, as of recording this, my DPG is at about 4.3k, which is pretty okay. Anything above 4k, I'm pretty happy with. And I'm aiming around 4.4, 4.5 for this. So it's slightly under what I want, but I'm pretty okay with 4.3. But yeah, as you can see, the mouse peaks there. Doesn't expect to get shot from here, and yeah, I put a nice round into him. And unfortunately, he moves his turret there, otherwise that would have panned. He's slightly angles, which is fair play to him. That's good play. But to be honest, if I was him, I just wouldn't have peeked that again. He has a Badger aiming at him. He has a Mouse and a VK aiming at him. And yet he peeks it again. And a bit of a chancy shot there. And it goes exactly where I aim it, but it was probably a 50-50 to pen. Which is unlucky, but, you know, stuff happens. Yeah, we've not really had a chance to show you this tank's armor yet, you know? We bounced a Guerrilla shot right at the start, which he ricocheted off our front. So I've not really had the opportunity to show you this tank when it's actually under fire. All I've managed to show you is this tank shooting, which is very good. And I must say, the gun did behave in this game. Like, that shot went very low, but, you know, as you can see there, the 268 version 4 hit our cheek, and pens. He could have fired standard and out of the pen. And interesting play here by this 268 to stay. And I'm going to hit a lovely shot here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's a very nice shot into a 268 Cupola. That's like the dream shot in a way. And you can see the mouse there is aiming for my little cheek, but if you can kind of wiggle your tank, you can make it a slightly harder, you know, basically shot to hit. And I should have fired here. This is a mistake by me. I should fire right there. I've got a green pen indicator. I have the pen indicator mod showing me I've got a pen there. So I'm firing 350 heat. I hit his turret, and unfortunately, the gun misbehaves there, which is very frustrating, as you will see at the end of this game. But, you know, no spoilers, no spoilers. But yeah, we're already up to 6k. Pretty much kept the gun firing throughout the start of this game. You know, the first 5 minutes, we were pretty much firing constantly, whether that be a Mouse, Type 5, 268. Yeah, but this tank is just a warrior. It really is. If you can get into a position where you can shoot and not be shot back at, wow, you really will punch holes in people. And normally, if people peek this thing once, they don't really want to peek you again, because you just say goodbye to 750 HP. You take 2 shots from them, that's 1500, that's half your HP gone in, you know, a top tier heavy tank. So, yeah, especially low tiers. But yeah, this tank just, I don't know, it just feels so comfy, and I definitely recommend people to pick it if, you know, you get the chance to win a campaign. If you, for example, the summer campaign, which will be around end of July, August time, if a chief doesn't come back, for example, and you have everything else and you've not got this tank, or you've got basically just don't know what to choose, and there's no chief in there, choose this. This tank is great. You know, maybe take a 907 if you're planning to play competitive, but if you've just entered the auction, for example, and you just want a fun tank to play in randoms, I would recommend this tank. I really, really would recommend it. It is fun, gun works. Yeah, it's just a comfy overall tank. It really just does feel nice and comfy and chill. But yeah, less might be saying how much comfy it is. Let's get into a little bit more of the action here, you know. I got a little bit sidetracked there, you know, aiming at the back chat and the Sen. I could have maybe reversed off and gone to go play the corner against the Jaeger earlier, about 30 seconds earlier, which could have netted me another K, because I could another 1.5K, because I could have put 2 into him, provided he doesn't give me 1 in return. So that was a little bit of a misplay by me, but in hindsight, you know, I could have gone to go that corner, and then the Type 5 Guerrilla, Sheridan, and 279 could have come down, and they'd have had a side shot into me. So, you know, it's dependent, but yeah. And here I see I peeked the Guerrilla, and prime example of this tank's armor working, he just hits my front hull and just doesn't pen. And that's kind of how you want to peek with this tank. You want to kind of force them to shoot your lower plate at an angle, and basically try and shot catch them into your front hull. And you can see here, I was gonna shoot his like little side pocket. I don't know why. I'm just shoot his side turret. It's a guaranteed pen, larger target. So I'm moving up here, and I'm like, okay, Jaeger is facing the mouse. STRV is also aiming at the mouse. 279's there. I don't know where the Sheridan is, but he can't be coming behind me. So I was like, Sheridan's probably in like C3, you know, or he's over there with the 279. So it's like, if I can kill this Guerrilla, I can shoot the STRV and Jaeger on the side. And unfortunately, the Guerrilla was very kind to go shoot the UDES who crossed rather than me, which is a result. So we're going to reload here, and this is where this tank's DPM is nice. Unfortunately, this 261 is still harassing me, which is fair play. It's probably the right play here. I am probably the danger tank. You know, it's a low health mouse, but He could have killed the mouse there. Yeah, we're going to wait for the stun to disappear. Peek out, aim onto the side of the Jaeger, and we're just going to pen him, you know. This is where high alpha is just lovely. Just to finish off tanks which are just less than 700 HP. You're pretty much guaranteed to kill them. And the Sheridan was exactly where I thought he was. So that's pretty good for me. Bounce him as I come across. Unfortunately, 261 shoots me again. So repair that stun. And I'm looking for him here, seeing if he was there. And I'm going to find him through these bushes here, which is quite nice. So luckily the gun behaves here. I fully aim it and put one into him here. And I'll just pause it here. If we look at our damage, we're up to 8.3k. There's 2.7k left. So if I was to pick up every single last hit point into this game, you know, that's what? 11k? Which is, this currently is a really, really good game in this tank. It's really nice. And I'm looking here, and it's at this point where I began to make a mistake. In my defense, I've never really had too many like close 10k games. So I'll play it now and you're going to see. So it kind of clicks here. I'm like, I need to go for this 279. He has the hit points to give me for 10k. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to ignore the Sheridan. He has 10 HP, whatever. I just need to push this 279. And I pen a nice shot for his front there. And I'll pause it again. Here is where I make the mistake. I look and I'm like, okay, the UDES is there. The UDES in realism can't really get a shot in. He's a little bit far away. Mouse, 100% too far away. And it's just the two arties and the Leo who are at threat of giving this guy a shot. Because currently I need to put 2 more shots in to get 10k. I need to either put 1 more shot into the 279 and kill the arty, or put 2 more shots into the 279. And at this point here, I make the mistake. I push him out into the Leo. It's at this point where I should have let him get past me and I should have shielded him to shield myself the damage. And I put a nice shot in here. Unfortunately, the Leo rolls for 428. And the UDES gives him a shot into his side. And yeah, we ram. We don't even get the ram off on him, which is really unfortunate. And it's at this point I'm like, please, please, please let me kill the Batchat. And unfortunately, you can see I put it in chat, but the mouse doesn't listen and the Batchat runs out. And I think the Leo would have got it anyway. But when I talked about that mouse shot, where I should have shot his side turret, and it was really unlucky that it missed his turret front. That was a shot for the 10k, which is unfortunate. But nevertheless, this game just shows what this tank can do if it's allowed to shoot you. It punishes you hard. It is going to pen you because of its heat pen. It is reasonably quick for a heavy, a super heavy as to what this is. It's even got decent view range. 452 meters view range is not a slouch. And yeah, I think this replay was a golden example of what this tank can do if you let it shoot you. Yeah, I'm going to show you the equipment. There's 2 equipment setups that I'd recommend for this tank. One is for randoms, which I run in this game, and the other is for more competitive gameplay. So we're talking Clan Wars, Global Maps, Advances. And also I'll show you the field mods that I use as well, or would use and will use when I get the field mods fully unlocked. But yeah, thank you for watching today. A slightly shorter one than my rant on the 1.2.1 update on Wednesday, but if you've not seen that, go give it a watch. There's the feedback forms below to give your feedback on this deplorable update to Wargaming. And yeah, I shall see you all soon. Bye.